Welcome, you ARES operators. Welcome to an episode of another set of GBB stuff. Now, what I bought is an Armor Works 6.01 Tightbore barrel with a performance bucking. It's about $21 roughly at e-bike. And this one is the 114 millimeter barrel. So it's a little bit longer than the standard 5.1 barrel, but I don't think it's going to cause much of a problem. Some of the difference is it's definitely a Wii type setup. The bucking looks like pretty much almost like the OEM bucking you would get from Wii Hi-Capas, except if you can see the nub has a little slit to it, so maybe there's some performance benefits. The barrel itself, probably just like any 6.01, except inside the barrel there's about 3 slits in there, like a fluting or something, inner fluting, to help distribute the air a little bit. Now, looking at the HX on the left side, some of you guys who has been looking at my videos, this one is pretty much a stock, using a stock Wii NG3 system with a modified hop-up unit, and that's been one of my best, accurate pistols to date that I have. And I'm going to compare it, how well it does against a stock split slide with the 6.01 barrel and bucking. So let's hop to it and start putting it together. Alright, so I split open my stock HX at split slide, the tan one, and I did break down the hop-up unit, and I've noticed that it's pretty much a Wii. And one thing I liked about it is it's using almost the same setup as my original split slide that I have. If you have the older versions of these, they come with actually a different hop-up arm and hop-up shell actually. And I've noticed that it looks like Wii has changed to kind of like the configuration that I have on here. So maybe they're listening to my videos and all that. And I'm looking at even the hop-up arm on this, the stock hop-up arm. It looks like that they really did try to flatten it out a little bit so you could use the 25 gram BBs. So that could explain why my stock, my new stock HX split slide pretty much shoots very close to my modified one. But in this episode, we're going to stick in the 6.01 barrel and see how it does. Just to let you know, guys, that you do have to adjust the hop-up arm to align that hop-up nub to be straight, so just be aware of that. Another point is, since this inner barrel is 114 millimeter, your barrel will stick out about 2 millimeters. Just be aware that Armor Works do make different lengths, but it's either 109.9 or 114. So choose the length that best suits your need. Quick function check. So you could see that the new bucking doesn't clamp onto the air nozzle, so that's great. So it looks like it's a great fit. Alright, so getting back from the accuracy test, if I was to shoot this completely stock, I would shoot about 311 FPS, and the groupings would be usually about 2.5 to as big as a 5-inch grouping at 50 feet with regular size 6 millimeter 25 gram BBs. When I modify it to the Armor Works with the regular size BB, I get to 326 FPS on it. And just remember, I'm shooting out of a HPA system at 120 PSI. As great as the FPS is, I get a lot of hooking on it. And I had to downgrade, well, I shouldn't say downgrade, I had to change my BBs to the e-bike Japanese spec 25 gram BBs. They tend to be a little smaller, and you also lose a little bit of FPS. So it shoots at 311 FPS with the 25 gram Japanese spec BBs. In some ways, using a 601 barrel Tightbore barrel on a Wii, to my experience, it's never been a great experience. It always causes hooking, and no matter how much I adjust the nubs, it never works out very well. And downgrading to a Japanese spec BB, it almost makes me say that you're just better off using a 603 Tightbore barrel on a Wii. But going to the accuracy test with the Japanese spec 25 gram BBs, I'm able to get a small inner circle of 2.5 inches, and the grouping expands out close to 3 inches. So it's actually fairly accurate. Comparing it to my silver one on the same day, I got the best grouping out of it, 1 3/4 of an inch, and it's using a regular size Crytek 25 gram BBs, and it shoots at 311 FPS. Accuracy wise, I would say both of them are pretty equal. I mean, given that these are airsoft guns and they tend to vary a lot, so both of these pistols shooting at the same day both of them shot below 5 inches easily. So I would say they're both about equal on what setup you want to do. The only thing is you have to be aware, if you're going to step up to a 601 Tightbore barrel with Wii's, is that just prepare for hooking and a lot of work with the hop-up arms just to adjust it to shoot it straight. But to be honest, I never was able to get it to shoot straight. So in some ways, I want to say you're better off with the 603 and just call it a day. But there you guys go. Like I said, to sum it up, using an Armorer Works 601 Tightbore barrel, 114 millimeter, shoots at 311 FPS at 120 PSI. The groupings are roughly less than 3 inches, maybe less than 5 inches out of the total groupings for the day at 50 feet. And I had to use the Japanese spec 25 gram BBs on this pistol just to make it shoot straight. So there you guys go. You know, choose how you want to, which route you want to go. Personally for me, of all the work I'm going to do, I'd rather stick with this setup with the 603. We adjusted hop-up arm and does just the same, and I could use regular size ground BBs. But up to you guys. It's your money. Have fun. Talk to you later.